All right, microphone check 1 2 1 2. Greetings, welcome to the Goffman Project explanation. So I'm going to keep this briefer than the Cultivation Project guidelines. I just want to really go over real quick. We're not going to really get into Goffman's theories until we talk about identity. But I want to, lead this project or to get this project out of the way because I think it's important for thinking about ourselves and thinking about ourselves in the process of communication. Obviously, we are the center for all of these interactions. And this semester, we're gonna talk a lot about our perceptions, right? Who we are, and who we are is shaped by who we're performing ourselves to be. So, right now, I am your professor. I am Rob. To my daughter, I'm daddy. I'm somebody completely different, right? I'm not going to make the same kind of silly faces at you that I make at my daughter. Similarly, with my friends, I don't even, talk like this, right? You guys probably have your own way that you talk with your friends. With my family, I talk completely different than this. I have an affected accent for my profession. I talk a specific way because when I was younger, I thought that that's how I was going to become successful was by developing a great broadcasting voice because that's what I studied was broadcasting. So that's a lot of who I am. So Goffman's project is a reflection on our performances of ourselves. So Goffman's theory basically says we are in a giant drama. We're in a giant play. If you ever walk through the mall and you see somebody on the phone go, "No, you didn't. You tell him to get back in the house and close the door. Or he's grounded forever. I mean it." Right? That's drama, right? People perform this out in public. They're performing it for the person on the other end of the phone as much as they're performing it for the person at the quick check, right? When you see somebody acting like this on their phone in public, they're doing it because they have a specific understanding of who they're performing and who they want to be seen as. That's Goffman's performance of self. So this project is a heavy reading project. I'm not gonna lie. I have grown a little bit disillusioned with the level of reading that students have partaked in this class. And maybe my theory is the book is boring. The book sucks. I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of it as it stands. And I'm commenting today on the book that I began teaching in 2018 when I started working at CCM. I'm not a big fan of it, and that's fine. Everybody has their own favorite types of reading. Textbook reading is not my favorite type of reading. So what I've assigned for you in the Goffman project is a little heavier reading. I want you to do it over the course of 3 weeks. Obviously, if you wait to the last minute, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But if you could read one chapter a week out of this book that I've assigned, that's part of the project. So the first thing I want you to do is read the introduction. It's 10 pages long, okay? I want you to respond to a series of questions that I have posted in the guidelines. That's it. Basically, the questions are, what do you think Goffman's book is about? What information in the introduction is useful? How do you think the world viewed human interaction prior to Goffman's book? And based on the introduction, what are you looking forward to learning from this book? This assignment is as much as you understanding yourself as it is teaching you a little bit more critical reading skills. And for me, part of communication is learning how to take in communication. Books are a wonderful form of communication. So this book as a text is for me to kind of teach you some of these critical thinking skills through reading. The link to the book is in the guidelines. Now, I don't have copyright permission for this. I don't claim to. I did not upload it. I found it very easily by doing a Google search on the internet, and I gave you the link there. So if you need access to the book, you can get it there. You might also consider purchasing it if you like it so much. Second, I want you to read chapter one. Chapter one's a little bit longer. Chapter one's like 30 pages. I want you to reflect on the various components of the performances and provide no fewer than 3 examples of the concepts that he mentioned. So there's a concept of the front region. The front region is the stage. That's where we perform everything. Then there's a back region, right? This is behind the scenes. Like you're in my back region. Look at my daughter's messy daybed that she has in the window right there. Look at this empty attic space where I do my work. Okay, that's the back region. I wouldn't let company up here. This is not where company comes. This is the back region. I'm letting you in there. Provide some examples. That you don't have to write a whole lot. I just want you to provide some examples. And I want you to explain these concepts through these examples to somebody who is outside of the class, your family, your friends. Like if I were to talk to my, 78-year-old aunt, I would want her to understand this, and I would use examples from my own life to help her understand. That's what I'm looking for. No fewer than 3 examples. Finally, I want you to read chapter 6. Chapter 6, I think it's like 15 pages. Don't quote me on that. It's not that long. That's the arts of impression management. Now, I want you to create a plan for handling a situation where you regret how you behaved. Let me repeat that again. I want you to create a plan for handling a former past situation where you regret the outcome or regret how people viewed you. So say you were in a store and you got your sandwich messed up and you go out to the car and you take a bite into it and it's pork and you don't eat pork. And you're livid. You're just, how dare they serve this to me? You don't understand. I don't eat pork because in the Bible, it says don't eat pork. And that's fine, right? You run back into the store and you throw a fit. You knock down the chip thing and you just go out of there and you speed out of the parking lot. And you regret how you acted. I want you to create a plan for impression management about how you would have alternatively handled that. Okay, it could be as simple as next time I get my food order, I would like to. Next time I get my food order, I would like, and people mess it up. I want to go in there and I want to explain to them, why it's terrible for me. But at the same time, I want to be nice and say, look, I know your job is difficult. I know you got 100 orders coming in here every hour. Could you please remake this instead of blowing up, and create a plan based on what you've read in chapter 6. Finally, I want you to take a picture of the character you've created. Okay, you will share this picture with the class. So basically, the example that I used is, say you were on a date with somebody you were trying to impress, and they were really into art, and they're talking about all these cool bands that they like. They're like, yeah, man, I listen to the Wallflowers and Nirvana, right? And they're telling you all the cool things that they do, and you're just like, oh yeah, I heard of Green Day once. So yeah, I'm dating myself using all these old bands and stuff. So you did not impress the way you wanted to impress. So say after that date you're like, oh man, she wasn't very interested in me because I didn't really know much about the Bolshevik ballet or something like that. You could get, I'm going to start buying really hip band shirts at Hot Topic, and I'm going to read Nylon Magazine. I'm going to learn all about the cool art stuff. That's impression management. So I want you to take a picture of the person that you became, okay? And if that person is just happy as opposed to angry, that's fine, right? I want you to be creative. Take a selfie, okay? And we're going to share this with the class. So that is the Goffman Project. Basically, it's a reading comprehension project. I want you to do short answers and respond to these questions. It doesn't have to be written as a paper. You're just responding. There's part 1. You're responding to my questions for the introduction. There's chapter 1. That's part 2. You're responding to offer 3 examples, no minimum of 3 examples to explain the concepts that you see, the concepts that you want to explain. And then there is chapter 6, impression management. That's using a former experience that you had, right? And creating a plan to address that experience. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Thank you.